We have Shanam Shende. Shanam is the AGM brand marketing at HRIPL. She enjoys building brand with purpose and innovation, loves to develop the business from scratch to make it commercially viable. A brand head marketing person, right? So Shanam, the stage is all yours. So we are eager to listen to you.
Good afternoon, everyone. I think I should say good morning, everyone, because always being an enthusiast, it's day or evening, every time it's a morning, right? So looking forward for a great session, and also in the end we will take a few questions. Yeah. So the topic today is content creation and deployment strategy purely from the startup perspective. This is not required. So the first brand which we're going to talk about, like a few brands which we're going to understand about the journey of the brand and what insights we can bring in our life. Very first, we know of a product by Nestle which is Maggi noodles. Ever you thought like an Indian market where we are all very much tuned to eating idli, dosa, upma, poha, how have we engaged with this brand which is just a 2-minute noodles, which is very different than the culture what we have? How have we been able to adapt? So the brand then started engaging with the working women professionals which had no time to engage to make something when the sun is coming back to home, and in that instance they have tried and adapted to this taste. Now today we all know Maggi as like meri wali Maggi. Someone likes as a veg, someone likes as a masala Maggi, someone likes that onion wali. We had been in hostel, so hostel wali Maggi, right? So even if you go to the remotest place, you will find Maggi, and that's where your taste bud starts dancing, right? It's not that you are hungry, but it is also because you are engaged with the brand so much more. And of course, the color of the brand, which is yellow, you will easily be able to recognize that brand on the shelf. Yeah. Is it possible for us to make Maggi in just 2 minutes? But it's a brand story, right? You need at least for the preparation for 5 to 10 minutes, but that's where the product started building it. The next example which we think of is a dairy milk. In Indian market, we are all lovers of sweets and we like mithai, peda, laddu, whatnot, right? Still, dairy milk had been able to create those instances in your life when you say that today you got your salary, so enjoy with the dairy milk, right? Today, Pappu Pass ho gaya campaign, which we all can remember. Then they talk about dairy milk over there. A brother gifting celebration pack to a sister. That's how they have tried to touch the different instances in your life and try to bring the brand in your life. Knowingly, unknowingly, we have all adapted this brand in our life, but we had not been aware what brand was trying to do with our psychology. A number says that 95% of the decisions regarding the brand is always subconscious because you have seen or heard or experienced that brand somewhere or other. Next example, Rolex. Parallelly, I'm also going to talk about Rolls-Royce. Both of these are very premium brands, right? So the moment you go to a store, it's not that you're going to go there and then you say, okay, एक Rolex मेरे लिए pack कर दो, I want to take a home. No, they will engage with you. They will ask certain questions to you. So much so that they will ask you about your financial background, about your status quo, what do you do, what kind of people you dwell in, right? So this is all the details which they try and engage you because their brand have a status and they want to maintain that cycle or that status of the group of the people who are using this product. Although the craftsmanship, and one is a Swiss brand and other is a British brand, both of them comes from the luxury background, but they operate with the principle of scarcity. Scarcity is that already, it's not, just imagine, is it not possible for the brand to produce the product as much as the requirement in the market, but they work on the principle of scarcity, which means although the product will be there, they can supply, they will create that scarcity so that you feel that there is an urgency to buy, and or everybody else is buying that brand. That's why I am not able to get that. Mostly you will find this in automobile industry. Also, you would have seen on booking.com when you see only 2 rooms left or 5 rooms left, that kind of the mentions over there. Other than that, we are also seeing in the OnePlus when they launched their phone, right? They used to give the coupons just to mark the scarcity in the market. The brand doesn't need any kind of recognition by any of us because it's been widely known, and this logo is been like one of the logo widely been recognized by all the consumers. Just do it. The logo was designed by a college university student, and hence it has been taken up over the period of time. Paris, it's a luxury high-end brand for the handbags. They craft the bag with the leather. Other than that, what they have also parallelly tried building up are the luxury and products like some fragrances, watches and accessories. These are also adding up to the additional income. What they give you is the experience. Like you might know of the Harley Davidson also, where they have a camp or a group of people of the similar genre of an interest. So with all these examples, what do we understand that consumer perception or quality and the desirability builds on loyalty and further adds to the retention of the consumer. These are all the examples of the brand which we know of on our daily basis, but at the same time they're adding some of the other experiences in our life. I have worked with Future Group where I had been able to work with the one called as King of Retail, who is Kishore Biyani, who had given us a theory of India 1, 2, 3. So first of all, we'll try and understand before we creating content who is our consumer and how do we segment it. So the very first is, they call it as India 1, which is further divided in India 1 Alpha and India 1. So we have taken a few examples. For example, say Starbucks and Cred, which we see that they scatter in this particular zone where almost 2.5 crore people are there and their income is about 30 lakhs. Whereas in India 1, we have consumers which are around 9.5 crore people and with an income of 5 lakhs. Now, collating both of them, if you just take an example of Zomato, 5% of the total orders accounts for 33% of the business. Yeah, the 5% of the users which are there on Zomato, they are ordering it so much more frequently and they come from this pyramid. India 2, the very best example is ShareChat or Dream11. What ShareChat does is trying to build the content on a regional level. Now the India 1 is called as consumer segment and the second India 2 is called as service segment. How it is different? Consumer segment are the one who are leading the pyramid. They are the one who are accounting taking away almost 22% of the entire India's income. Yeah. India 3 again are the one who are like farm holders and mostly all the government subsidies given around. Most of them, from the startup point of view, most of the startups are actually focusing on India 1 and India 2. Take an example of say all the payment gateways. They are accounting like almost 6.5% of their total transaction comes, and that accounts to almost 43% of their total transaction. 6.5% of users adding 43% of the costing of their entire billing. So which is a way much more. So all the startup these days are just trying and focusing on the India 1 and 2. One more reason is because they know English, they have accessibility to internet, they know a lot more in terms of the geographic segmentation, which is more towards the metros and mini metros. One of our best case study we can take is about Meesho, who is just riding against the giants like Flipkart and Amazon. What Flipkart and Amazon are trying to give you is the best possible deliveries in the least time, right? Where Meesho is making its own segment where cost is the thing, where they are saying that will not give you maybe promising like say in a day or a 2 time, but also at the best cost possible. There the Meesho is not charging of the platform fees which The vendor has to give it to the Flipkart and Amazon. Also, it is getting hyper local. So one is that you are saving on the cost. Like as a consumer, you are getting the cost as 30% lesser than what you are getting on Amazon and Flipkart. Second, the accessibility. You're getting the best cost possible. What do you want? Like either your priority is to get in a day or two, you have Flipkart and Amazon. But at the best possible cost, which is major of the Indians are very cost sensitive, then you have Meesho. Other than that, now Flipkart and Amazon, they also have their private labels, right? Meesho do not have that and they don't differentiate. Most of this, the marketplaces, how do they earn is by any brand who want to promote, because now if you know like Amazon and Flipkart, it's so much cluttered these days. So many brands are there. How are you going to stand out of that? So to do that, we do search or we do ad campaigns. That's how they are earning. Which in Meesho, they have an analytics where everybody is given equal and more chance. That's how you will be getting a fair game. Lot of vendors, and you can read about Meesho, a lot of vendors are now getting registered in Meesho, and it is getting much more progression than what it has been expected in e-commerce from Flipkart and Amazon. Although we know that the only segment which caters in 1, 2, 3 is about YouTube and WhatsApp. They have been able to service all the 3 pyramids. We want to talk about the art of storytelling. This is a recent phenomena which has been very much adapted by most of the marketers. So what exactly it is? The best example of this is Apple. Steve Jobs is called as the master of storytelling. And it is because all the product launches, if you see, there is a lot of hype which has been created before the launch. There is a lot of sneak peek which are there. We all get over enthusiastic. What are the features, what are the specification of iPhone, right? Whenever or any of the Apple product gets launched. One more thing is about Apple, that when Steve Jobs died, everyone thought that now the brand is going to get sick, which has not happened because they continue doing storytelling. Storytelling helps you to build with your consumer. It helps you to get in their life. It helps you to interact with all the more. So what Apple does, Apple never sells a product, it sells you the experience. The moment you enter an Apple showroom, you will realize that it's a very fascinating world altogether. You would want to buy and look around. So there you will find an only aisle in between where you will see the latest launch. For example, iPhone 16 you will be seeing there. You will only find the sizes over there and the color options available. You will not find iPhone 14 and 15 next to it and compare, because they just want you to focus on that particular product at that point in time. Yeah. If you have seen any of the advertisement by Apple or by iPhone, it is more about engaging with the crowd. It is all about creating the stories. They are trying to pick up the daily instances from your life and trying you to help create those stories again. They are interacting with you so much more and making you to build the stories. So a lot of the campaigns of iPhone are built on the similar storytelling. Less is more is the concept they use. If you have seen any time the hoardings, you will just see some picture and below there will be written like shot on iPhone. Yeah, that minimalistic kind of campaign is what they do. Next is Coca-Cola. We always talk about the winning things. We should also learn from some of the blunders that have happened in marketing. So Coca-Cola is one of a very good example to understand, where when Coca-Cola launched new Coke in the market, which was not acceptable. The reason being, everything was done very rightly for what a new product to be launched in the market. A consumer study was conducted almost with 2 lakh consumers, where the new Coke formulation has been approved against competition, which was Pepsi that time. But what they failed understanding is that it's not the product that the consumers are taking every day. It is about the experience what they get out of the Coke. So the moment they change the formulation, the taste which they already had been built up over the period of time was completely lost. And that's where Coca-Cola had to take back that formulation and again relaunch the old formulation. That has all happened because also they were not able to understand that how the brand has been engaged. When they conducted the study, they had just given a little sip of very less quantity to the consumers, whereas somebody is consuming a Coke, it is almost say 200 ml or so. Then the taste of that sweetness is very high. So although everything been set right, but a few here and there things had made that blunder. Apart from that, from Coke, we all know that the campaigns like Thanda Matlab Coca-Cola had been the revolutionary campaign for them. Prior to that, they were trying and building what they have done in the US market and incorporating in India market, which has not been possible. Indian audience and the consumers think very differently. And that's where they also started building up the concepts based on the Indian audience. Next up example is Tesla, which has been very much talked about this day. Yeah, so if the company wanted to do the mass marketing, that could have been very much possible. But being a company which is into solar, they did not choose to produce as much as required and go with the economy of sales. They're into other products as well. So based on that, Tesla has tried to build up their campaigns. Other than that, Tesla also had been able to build on the high-end luxury electric cars. Why somebody will be paying so much more against the other automobile companies which are there for over the years? We've been seeing that every year the market share of Tesla is increasing. All the reason is because of the hype that the company has created in terms of the sustainable energy and the renewable energy source which they're gonna get because of upgrading from the regular automobiles like the brands from Mercedes and the other high-end brands to this Tesla. So a time was there when everybody thinks that, oh, I own a Mercedes, I am into that HMI and I have that status quo. The moment Tesla released the entire strategy of what is going to get offered, everyone started upgrading them. So this is the next thing going to happen. Elon Musk himself is such a big influencer. You will not believe that Tesla spends $0 on their marketing. The entire news of Tesla is so much in the market, covered by media into the PR, is because the excitement what Tesla brings in as a product. Other than that, on the other hand, Tesla spends almost 3x in the R&D compared to the Mercedes or any other automobile in the industry. So what are we trying to understand here? That every brand has tried to build strong emotions with the storytelling with their target audience, and that's how when they encounter the brand. One case study which I would like to take from my one of the product which I've been handling, which is I handle Streaks brand and we are into hair color. So these was the previous packs of the product which we used to sell, and there was a time when the revamp is been required for the brand. So what we did a consumer study. The first insight we got to know that every consumer is buying it as a pack of 2 or a pack of 3. That's when we realized that the quantity of a 1 pack is not sufficient. Also the product is so critical to understand that usually somebody goes to a salon and get the hair color. So hair coloring of a fashion shade at home is very tough is what we realized. And that's where I tried to transform it with a very beautiful new pack which shows only the back of the pack. Normally if you see any of the product, you see the face of the lady on the back, right? Here with an innovative, because whenever you ask a lady, show me your hair, she'll always just turn around and clip and show her hair, right? That's the concept we utilize, that we try to use that beautiful hair colored in different shades which are there, which we provide and we put on the brand on the front of the bag. Apart from that, like I mentioned, it's a very critical category. There are also the challenges of most important the content which you wanted to create on how to use this brand, how to use this product. We have already been plugged in the QR code in the product where you scan it and it enroutes to a page where it tells you how to use it. Other than that, we have run an entire campaign on Instagram taking up the target audience who would love to color their hair in the fashion shades. So few of the interactive assets which we have developed are here. And other than that, the few lookbook which we have given to the consumer, like you don't know which kind of a hair color will suit on your face, on your hair length. So we have provided them a lookbook. Application process is specifically been mentioned already on the pack, but other than that, there are several modes where they could check it. So this study, the entire consumer insighting and the entire transformation of the product, what it used to be versus what it had been, and also targeting the right medium of e-commerce has helped us to take the business a leap ahead. So first of all, what is more important in creating the content is that you need to know your brand, you need to know your product. What is that the one thing you want the consumers to take away from your product, right? One key messaging, because you cannot fool consumers. Nowadays there are so many brands available in the market. Once you do not give the right deliverables as per what you have promised, it's definitely gonna fail. So you need to know what is that differentiating factor that your product is delivering to your consumer. Then comes about the blueprint of a storytelling. What a story is. Story is always very engaging, because when the moment we say story, it's the first thing that starts in your mind, which builds curiosity towards the end. So it has a start where you need to mention the brand, and there is this between the story of the brand, and there comes the conclusion that how this brand or this product is changing, adding value or changing in your existing set of life. Most important, know your target audience. Is it these consumers are the one who go online and buy, or are the consumers who prefer to browse and see multiple ways, or a word of mouth is going to help so much more. So know your target audience, what age group, what demographics, and what you need to target around. Yeah, pick the right media. Is it like, not necessarily like we have seen in that pyramid of India 1 or 2, not everybody is accessible to Instagram. So maybe if any other source of media deployment is been required, you need to access on that basis on your target audience. Now some consumers would like to see the statics, some would want to see the video carousels. Depending on the different assets types which are there, you'll have to build in your content accordingly. So it has been said that 54% of the audience like to see it is in a video format, because it is more visually appealing. Depending on the kind of product you have or the service you have, you will have to develop accordingly. And last but not the least is the deployment of the content and promotion. It has been said that the product is getting launched, you do a campaign against it, a TV campaign against it, and then you are all set. But it would have been that easy, every brand would go online and go on the TV media, do some PR around it, and the product will be a very big hit, which is not possible. So many steps which needs to be followed. Like, first of all, what we usually do is make a product understanding. What is that the concept of your product is appealing to the audience or not? Is it creating any difference? Is it adding any value to your target customer? If the answer is yes, then you develop a product, and then you also understand what is that the 1 or 2, 3 pickup lines which the consumers are understanding from your entire communication piece. You build up a communication brief, and basis on that, then you further understand what is that the content which around which your product, your brand, your vision, is it a part, like for example we spoke of Apple. So is it like the minimalistic thing which we spoke about? Is it only about the iPhone? It is about the entire Apple. For entire Apple as a brand, it remains the same. So iPhone, or be it iPad, or it be tablet, the entire brand, we call it a brand guideline, remains the same. It's the product that changes. However, in your case, if you are into the service or into the brand, you need to see how you are adhering and building all together. And later with the content, you are of course promoting through across different media, say Instagram or Facebook or word of mouth. You want to do it through print, you want to do it through any of the campaigns near around in RW society, depending where your target audience and how much of that you can scale, you are ready to choose on that. So one example which I want to put across, like how storytelling is so strong. There's no voice sound.
Svaki dan nabavim hranu jer ona ne može doletjeti, onda sam ja njezino krilo. Nema mi veće plaće nego kad dojde kvartetan i njemu zatekne na gnjezdo. To mi je kao da sam dobio i bingo i loto i sve na vrtu tih novaca nema za dušu. Iščekiva kada će on doći. Sve mirnija, pogledi su na sve strane. 5-6 dana neće biti ništa.
So we have seen how Jenna Water has used that story to build an entire PR and the digital and everything alongside. They had taken up a story and they have just tried to build that love factor and that water and the purity comes together. And that's how they tried to build that story and taking that insight that not necessarily that you are able to do a very big marketing campaign and which needs to pour a lot of money into it. Simple thing being taken up, but how it went viral. Now everybody talks about that. This is one of a very successful campaign which is there. Likewise, there are many stories which are there of the storytelling arts which we use these days. Request you to go through it and try and build it. One thing is that everybody now thinks that content creation is more of the content created for the online apps, Instagram and Facebook. It's not only the case. Content creation is purely for what story you want to bring in. Be it for the brand, be it for yourself. It is the story that you want to tell it to others. If today you're doing something very different and you want to tell others, you will not say like मैंने ये किया मैंने वो किया. How are you trying to address that, and in fact even talking to your friends or your colleagues, that how do you try and structure it well? What had been the reason that you had been looking for it, what you did after it, and how it has ended up. Even if you try and build this thing in your everyday's life that is going to bring a lot of results. So I'm hoping that how you will try and build storytelling in your life for building the better content and also to promote it in the right strategy. Yeah. So that was all from my side. If any questions, I would like to park 5 minutes for that.
Hi, my name is Nitin. So earlier you talked about the like Google detecting the content, AI generated content.
Sorry?
Like Google detecting the AI generated content and will degrade our website like that.
Sorry, I did not say that.
So
I'm sorry, I did not say that Google generated AI is not a topic which I touched.
that's all.
Any questions from the audience? I guess that's it. We'll wrap up the session today and thank you so much for your time. Thank you.
I know I have given 5 minutes time. So guys, that is Shanam Shende for you. She will be available offline to take more questions. Shanam, I would love to like to bring you on stage for a small token of appreciation from our sponsor. And it's a personalized gift. I would request you to kindly open it and